All right, there you go. That's your cue to call. Give us a call, 992-9029. The phone lines are full, so you're going to have to keep trying. We will take as many callers as we can over the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we got about 7 minutes in front of us to see how many callers we can cycle through the Heroes Hotline right now.
Just to go through this really quickly one time, it's the Ticket Sweepstakes brought to you by Dunnett's Appliance and Mattress. 3 games up for grabs. August 6th against the White Sox, August 17th against the Diamondbacks, September 9th against the Angels. Each of those games, there'll be 4 tickets available. In that section mentioned earlier, 54 row J. The drawing will be on the 30th for the August 6th tickets, on the 10th for the August 17th tickets, and on September 2nd, for the last game there, September 9th. So always a week in advance. And again, you can call right now, and we will try to get you entered to get those tickets. Let's go to the Heroes Hotline. Who's this?
We got Andrew and Carmel. I was just on the phone with you, Andrew. How's it going?
I'm doing great.
Feeling rejuvenated about the Red Sox here, from dead in the water to second wild card in the AL?
Absolutely. I went to the game on the Saturday the 18th and watched them get their 14th or 13th in a row.
Look at that.
It's wicked exciting.
Get you back down there then. Now, do you already have, if you win the tickets, you got the 3 people lined up, or you expect some infighting among friend and family?
Jostling, maybe.
Oh, no, it'll already be all preordained.
All right. Well, there you go. You're in the competition. So now you got 3 chances to win. A couple of games in August, 1 in September. Make sure to keep tuning in. We got our first drawing coming up this Thursday for the next game, which is actually end of next week on the weekend.
Can't wait.
All right, there we go. Andrew is in the competition. We got 1 line out of the way. Again, we're going to try to move faster than that over the course of the next 6, 7 minutes or so. 992-9029. We're going to keep burning through them.
Who's that? Okay, well, we can burn through that one really quickly. Who's this?
Derek in Bangor.
Hey, Eric.
Derek.
Derek?
I heard a D.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I know. It's Derek, of course. I know Derek.
How about we're just going to bring him up. We're going to hear from the people, and then we got to keep it moving.
Is that what you said?
Keep it moving.
Yeah, but this is Derek from Bangor, who is a Laker fan?
Yeah, Laker fan. Glad that King James is gone.
There you go. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you, Derek. All right, so...
Derek, you hang on for me. I'll be right back with you in a second.
Okay.
I just wanted to get that. It was important for us to get. I don't need to know Derek and LeBron, and if the split was amicable, and it was, I guess, sounds like.
Who's on line 2? Hello?
Hi, this is Jason.
Nathan?
Jason.
How you feeling about the Sox, Jason?
I missed it. What was that?
I was just saying, how do you feel about the Sox? You feeling a little reinvigorated here? You got a team to watch the rest of the summer?
Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is, actually. It's quite unbelievable.
Quite hard to believe.
Yeah, it's like a Hollywood movie. The Misfits, right?
It is.
All right, hey, stay on the line, Jason, so that we can get your information, okay? Congratulations for being entered.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to actual line 2. Who's this?
This is Ben from Dedham.
Hey, Ben. Oh, good. I was going to say turn the radio down, but you did it. You are a professional, Ben.
He knew what he was doing.
Ben, are you reinvigorated by the Red Sox?
I am, and I'll admit that I had given up fully to the point where I didn't watch a game, and then it's just like, you know what? I always have rooted for Cinderella teams where they come together as a team and win rather than have the star player and win.
Yeah. Now, when did the switch get flipped for you? Was it in the middle of the win streak, beginning of the win streak, maybe yesterday?
Beginning of the win streak. Once they won 4 in a row, then I started paying attention again.
Once they were actually streaking, he just needed to see them, get beyond like a sweep.
Yeah.
Tack on 1, 2.
Exactly.
All right, so stay on the line and we'll get your information, okay?
All right, thanks.
All right, now which of these lines, Mark, is there one that's available for me to take one more person while you're talking?
There absolutely is not.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I'll let you know that Tossie's Checkout is calling all Sasquatch seekers to the 2nd annual Glenburn Sasquatch Calling Contest. This is real. Saturday, August 29th from 1 to 5 p.m. at 1492 Pushaw Road in Glenburn. I guess it only says 1 to 5. It might be in the AM. I don't know. Sasquatches probably are more active then. You can win a $100 cash prize, compete for legendary bragging rights, and it's free to enter. Bring your crew, bring your call. They'll see you at Tossie's Checkout if you're a Bigfoot fan and you want to be part of the 2nd annual Glenburn Sasquatch Calling Contest. That is real. I would not make that up on you. All right, 992-9029. Again, if you would like to call in and be entered to win some Red Sox tickets, that is the number to call. There's one line open currently, so whoever's got a real fast finger, it's gone. So you weren't fast enough. But 992-9029, Mark is clearing the lines as quickly as he humanly can with his little fingers, his nimble fingers, trying to get people to get into this contest. Again, 992-9029. He just opened up 2 lines. So 2 lines, or 1 line. Nope. Okay, 1 line is now open. If you were to call right now, 992-9029 to get entered into winning these Red Sox tickets. So it's
imagine what play-by-play of me working a phone line sounds like on the other end of a car radio.
Let me
it
tell
must just
you,
be invigorating. Talk about the Red Sox rejuvenating people's summers. You get out of a long day of work, what's the first thing you want to hear when you get in your car going home?
Did you hear what I called your fingers?
Play-by-play of Mark's magic fingies.
Nimble. I was just letting people know how many lines were open, but I did let them also know about this Glenburn Sasquatch calling contest.
We'll hear you call in a second.
I don't have one, I don't think.
Back
but
to
anyway.
the phone lines. Who's this?
This is Mike in Milford.
Mike in Milford. How are we doing today?
We're doing good. I was trying to call you guys. I'm getting gas at BJ's, and I'm outside my car, and I can hear it ringing, so I had to turn my car off to avoid. so I can get through.
Mike's car may or may not implode in the
Pro tip,
as he's
Mike,
getting gas.
Make sure that when you drive away, you take the pump out of the tank. I had a friend that was in a similar scenario. He didn't do that. He drove off with it still in his tank. It does detach, but he was driving down the road with half of a gas pump.
Mike trying to score 4 free tickets on the Heroes Hotline and instead incurs like $80,000 in property damage.
It's not great if you do that. All right, you excited about the Red Sox?
I'm pumped, man. I've been like a diehard all year.
He's pumped at the pump.
I haven't left, man. I've been such a diehard. Yeah.
He's been there all the way through.
Good for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Just hang on for me. I'll be back with you in a second, Mike.
Sounds good.
All right, so we have 2 more people on the line. Are we going to take more after that, or do we have to get to break so we can get to Matt Vautour?
We're going to keep these 3, and then we're going to open up the phone line into the break. So then I can really rifle through 20 people in a matter of... Until I got to call Matt.
Wow.
Because that's where the real action happens. Not on air. We can only get to 6, 8 people over the course of the segment. It's when these magic nimble fingies get to go to work when I'm not also hosting a radio show.
You know, I was okay when I called them nimble. I don't know about the fingies thing.
Back to line 1. Are you okay with my magic fingies? They got you locked in, whoever this is.
Yeah, that's fine.
Doesn't sound too enthused by it. Who are we talking to here?
This is Trevor.
Trevor, where are you calling in from?
Dexter.
All right,
when
Trevor
you hear
and
the
Dexter.
term fingies, do you feel awkward?
Not a fan of fingies.
Hadn't heard that one before in my radio call-in.
Yeah, does it make you feel awkward and uncomfortable when you hear it?
Well, I just didn't know how to respond.
Yeah.
You know what, Trevor? If it leads to you winning Red Sox tickets, you're going to love the word fingies.
That's right.
All right.
Don't forget it either.
Hang on the line for me. I'll be back with you in just a second. And the last person we hear from on air this segment, who's this?
This is Bob and Holden.
Bob and Holden sneaking in here. Bob, how you feeling about the Red Sox? They going to keep this going through September?
I don't know about that, but at least they're fun to watch and a little exciting. A lot more than earlier.
Exactly.
Bob, I think you're like me. We're along for the ride, and if it takes us some fun places, great. If not, at least it was fun while we were there.
Take us to football season, right, Bob?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, thanks for the call, Bob. Stay on the line so that Mark can give your info during the break.
Okay.
And we'll go to break as well. We do have to get to Matt Vautour again. 992-9029.
It's going to be busy for 30 seconds, then keep hammering it for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, just keep calling. Mark will eventually get to you until we have to get to Matt Vautour. We are brought to you by Goslin's Bakery, 334 Harlow Street in Bangor. Breakfast sandwiches on English muffins or croissants, plus legendary donuts and pastries made since 1945. Again, we'll take that break. When we come back, Matt Vautour to talk some Patriots. Welcome back to The Drive, brought to you by Fat Panda Boba Tea and Market on Harlow Street in Bangor, next to Goslin's Bakery. Sip fresh boba, explore snacks, ramen, and their tasty Jamaican patties. Also visit their brewer location, Wilson Street, next to Hannaford. Mark, you took a lot of calls during the break, and I know we got to get to Matt Vautour here, but really quickly, just give us first name, town, just to lay out how many people we've got in this contest already.
Yeah, 92.9 Sox Tix Sweepstakes. We got 3 games, 3 4-packs that were given away the rest of the summer and into September. Andrew from Carmel, Derek and Bangor, Jason and Brewer, Ben and Dedham, Mike and Milford, Trevor and Dexter, Bob and Holden, Robert and Glenburn, Mull in Goldsboro, Mull. I like that one.
Yeah.
Todd in Newport, Paul in Bangor, Jake in Bradford, and James in Waterville.
Mull, like I'm going to mull the cider.
I hope that's correct. Those are the 4 letters I heard.
If that's not correct and your name is actually Matt.
I've got your phone number, so that's what counts.
Yeah, give Mark a call and correct him, please. All right, let's go to Matt Vautour of MassLive.com to talk some Patriots. And I think we have to start with this. Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, comes out and just says, like, there's an offer for Christian Gonzalez on the table where he'll be the highest paid cornerback and the highest paid Patriot ever in history. Full stop. End. What benefit do you think there is to Robert Kraft coming out and saying that? Or is there one in your mind?
Well, for starters, I want to say my name is Matt, and I think I've gotten a Starbucks before and come back with Mull on the cup.
Mull Vautour.
No, it wouldn't have been Vautour either. It would have been like Mull.
I don't know.
Victor.
Mull Vautour kind of has a ring to it.
Vautour, they weren't coming close on. No one gets Vautour right. But I think Robert Kraft has become a little sensitive to the perception that maybe he's a little cheap. And so I think he wanted to put it out there that I think he wanted at least the perception to be out there that he's not the holdup for this deal getting done. Now, he may very well still be the holdup, because saying that you're going to make him the highest paid player, there's no question of years, there's no question of guarantees, a question of incentives and so forth. That's a fairly vague thing to say that, and especially in the craziness of NFL contracts with uncertain guaranteed money and so forth. So it's a PR move, and it's not out of character for Kraft to say something like that yet. But that I think that doesn't necessarily mean a ton until you see all the details.
Just to be clear, because I don't know that I've actually asked this question or heard it asked anywhere. It's just been assumed that Christian Gonzalez, like this soft holdout, whatever you want to call it, he and Devon Witherspoon, they both have the same agent. They're both trying to set the market respectively. There's no ill feelings between the two, right? There's nothing going on there. It is simply waiting to see what the other does and kind of a game of chicken until then.
That's kind of my understanding. That this is a classic camp contract situation, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it's straightened out by the end of it. And the Witherspoon thing certainly complicates it a little bit, because they're both kind of waiting to see what the other one gets, and is one, do they both think they're the best one? So if do they each want $1 more than the other? I don't know exactly what comes into that, but I do think that complicates it a little bit. But I also think that both of those guys, and certainly Christian Gonzalez, that the amount that you need him to play in training camp is not that much. I certainly wouldn't play him in any preseason game, given that the Patriots struggled when he got hurt, when he wasn't healthy in the early games last year. That I'm plenty. If he wants to sit out chunks of camp, as long as he's in shape and ready to go at the time, I feel comfortable he'll know the defense.
The receiver room is still pretty full, right? And there was a lot of prevailing thought that like Kayshon Boutte or someone of his ilk would be headed out the door for maybe a 5th-round pick or whatever it happened to be. That hasn't come to fruition yet. I did see Boutte make a nice catch the other day, and I've seen a lot of people boosting that highlight from the Patriots, and I'm wondering if maybe that's like a PR ploy to get his name out there again. When do you expect a move to be made, if there is a move to be made?
I'm not positive there's going to be. They've had such. I mean, it makes sense, and I get it, but like they've had such a hard time getting good receivers over the last last 20 years, really, of getting elite guys. Now, I'd be careful before moving him. I think if you're gonna make a trade, you're gonna want to see a lot of things come together in camp before you're willing to get rid of a guy that has shown chemistry with Drake May. And I think you hope that he has a good preseason and maybe raises his value to maybe higher than than a 5th round pick. I mean, maybe you look and say you're going to get a 4th round pick in 28 instead of a 5th round pick now. Like maybe you talk somebody into higher pick because he has value and he's a guy whose abilities and his game is potentially still climbing. And so he's a little bit of AJ Brown insurance if you're worried about Brown's history of potential having some knee issues, and he's a big play guy on a team that doesn't have a lot of it.
Trying to take stock of where exactly this roster is as we head into training camp. Elliot Wolf and company, I mean, Mike Vrabel obviously is a big part in that, but the work that group has done over the last 2 years to transform this roster from back-to-back 4-13 teams to at least where the frontline talent is now is pretty incredible. But my question to you, Matt, is like when you peek under the hood, beyond that top-line talent, which I think ESPN ranked the Patriots starters on both sides of the ball as like the 3rd best unit in the AFC. The only teams better than them, they had the Bills at number 4, Ravens at number 5, Patriots 7th best in the league. But under the hood, is there like depth concerns there? Should you just mentioned Christian Gonzalez, like if he were to miss any time, I get some concerns about like defensive back, about edge, about different spots on the defense where if depth becomes an issue, it could be a little worrisome for this team.
It's a fair concern with Harold Landry not 100% healthy and aging. You wonder a little bit of how much can you really count on him. And so with Chase on gone, really you're not in a great situation edge rusher wise, especially with Yakis not healthy, and who knows when you're gonna see him. Both Davis and Charles Woods today got hurt at corner. I have no idea how serious either of those guys are, but certainly that raises Christian Gonzalez's asking price a little if either of those guys are out for a while, because you'll desperately need him if those guys are out. So there are depth questions, but I feel like sometimes at this time of year everybody has some depth questions. So you want to see how the rookies avail themselves, and it's always important to remember at this time of year they're not in pads yet. All of this is a little bit. I think it was the Lions coach Dan Campbell that called all of this a pajama party until they actually get in pads, and which is a pretty good line. I wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't take any of it too seriously until they start getting into pads of what you're looking at. But there are you'd like to see Lomu come out and have a good camp and be a guy that can looks like a future starter, and at worst a guy that can sort of be what Badarian Lowe was for them last year. And then you need other guys to emerge, and that's what camp is for. And I'm sure they will be monitoring who gets cut in other places. Patriots have a little more salary cap available than a lot of teams, so if there's a corner or somebody that gets let go by a team that's a little more flush there, you could see them eyeballing to try to add some depth for sure.
Yeah, it feels like to your point there towards the end of that, offensive line to me, I know you just talked about depth, but that to me is the biggest question mark overall still, right? I mean, there's just, I'm not sure there's a spot of that offensive line that I look at and I think I'm super comfortable with what they've got there, whether it be age or lack of success or those types of things or injury history. Take me through how you project the line looking, say, week one, their first drive.
So, I think you're probably it's an interesting question because some of it will have to do with health. But I think Jared Wilson probably ends up being the center, and I think is probably a pretty good center. He played a lot of guard a year ago. I think Mike Onwenu is a guy you can trust at right guard. Elijah Vera Tucker is an interesting one because he has such a big ceiling if he's healthy. He hasn't been healthy a lot, so probably looking at him at left guard. If he is healthy, then it's Will Campbell at left tackle and Morgan Moses at right tackle. I think that's probably it's pretty much the consensus of where they'll land in terms of starters for week one, assuming everybody is healthy.
How do you feel? I guess it's really just Buffalo in the division because the Jets are the Jets. Miami is being widely projected as one of the worst teams in the NFL this upcoming season. So it's really just Buffalo, and looking at the other players in the AFC, like the top 7 picture, who had the best off seasons out there in your mind in the AFC?
Well, I certainly think that I certainly think you're happy with I think the Patriots are probably a better football team than they were in terms of the offseason. But if you're comparing the Patriots to the Bills, you're going to get a little bit of the flip side of last year. Bills are going to have an easier schedule than the Patriots did last year, and so that puts them in a little bit of an advantage. So I think you're right. I think it's going to come down to the Patriots and Bills, and if those two teams split their respective home games, it becomes kind of a challenge.
I saw today, and this is kind of more generic NFL, but Vita Vea requested a trade from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, one of the top defensive tackles, if not the top defensive tackle out there, just absolutely fantastic out on the football field. The Patriots don't seem to be a fit for obvious reasons with Milton Williams, but obviously you also mentioned they have some cap money, so they could financially do it. But I have seen the Bills listed as a likely or possible fit for him. I'm curious what you make of his situation and if you think they'll actually deal him, and if so, where he ends up.
It's interesting. I saw a list of teams earlier today, and I do what I always do, and what I'm guessing most people do is they'll say teams that Vita Vea could end up at, and the Patriots were on it, and they were on it because of cap space. But I think you're right with Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, that's not a need for them. Certainly, if the Bears, the Bills were to end up, that's a pretty significant thing for them that improves them significantly against the run. I mean, you've got them and a guy like Ed Oliver up front there and things. That's a pretty formidable group.
But can you imagine Christian Barmore lining up with Milton Williams and Vita Vea? Just picture that for me for a moment.
900 plus pounds of bowling ball going at the offensive line.
Would anyone be able to get a rushing yard?
It's certainly not through the middle. That's certainly.
Yeah, that would be intense. Not going to happen. It makes no sense, but it would be fascinating to see. All right, Matt, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it as always, and I'm sure we'll talk to you as the actual games, not pajama parties, get underway.
No problem. Good luck to Mull on that Red Sox ticketing offer. So
it's a good name. It's a good name out there.
I kind of want to change my name, actually.
Just we're all moles.
You put that on a T-shirt. Hey, thanks, Matt. We appreciate it.
Mull it over. All right, thanks.
Nailed it. All right, we're brought to you by Novus Auto Glass. Call Novus Auto Glass today at 945-6688 to get your windshield repaired or replaced. I bet Mull has never heard that before.
No, not once.
That has
never gone
his way. That is the
way.
first time that he has heard that statement. Also brought to you by Casella. Good pay, good people, good life. Find your place at powerofhardwork.com. And you said this Bigfoot thing, the Sasquatch calling contest. I do not have a Sasquatch call, but I assume that you do.
No, I don't even know what they sound like.
Because you did a Tarzan and it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I would
Tarzan's
assume it would be like a more throaty, like gruff, like a...
Yeah. No, well, you said you didn't have one and then you backed away from the mic and...
That actually hurt a little bit.
Did some sort of... That was a sight to see.
Was it? Yeah.
You know what? We have cameras in here. I could clip that.
We do have cameras right in front of my face.
Looking at my face on one.
It felt a little bit like I was throwing up, so I don't know how to take that, but that is the best Sasquatch. That was a Sasquatch that just stubbed his toe. To be specific.
Just those 1.6 seconds will find their way onto social media.
You got to include my description because I think without the description, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's the point. It was a sight to see.
Well, I'll be in Ireland, so I don't care. Do what you will with it, Mark. Also brought to you by Next Home Experience. Next Home is the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience. We'll take a break. Sports Center weather forecast, and we'll see where.
You think we should open the phone lines back up?
Can we do that?
I mean, people were pretty excited the first time.
All right. Well,
we got props to do. We got polls to get to, but maybe maybe you hear a cue to call.
Maybe not. We'll find out next.
Are those an accident? Are all those words just Jayson Tatum not knowing what they could possibly connect to?
So the first half of it, I thought, well, yeah, he's just telling kids, don't act like you know it all. Like, that's something you would say to elementary school kids. That makes perfect sense. But then when he said, I've been in the room with know-it-alls.
With the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be that.
That was either, I think that's a bit of a Freudian slip, perhaps. But that, I mean, I don't know how, like, I feel like...
Being around somebody who felt like they knew it all, I don't want to be around that person.
Yeah, that's
those aren't our words. Those are Jayson Tatum's words. And again, he could very well not be talking about Jaylen Brown, but based on what all the conversation around that trade was,
remember
and
the Colin
that came out of
Cowherd
it,
comment where he had multiple people saying things like that to him, basically that he was always the smartest person in the room, or at least he thought he was.
And it was Windhorst running with it. It was all kinds of national people running with it.
Yeah.
If you're Jayson Tatum...
That's a tough one, man. That's
you can't not know those words are coming out of your mouth, right? You
worst,
can't not know the
worst case,
meaning.
you're oblivious and you stuck your foot in your mouth. Real bad. Best case, I mean, he had to have known.
That had to be a not even veiled shot, just a shot, right?
Yeah, feels like it. Yeah, I mean, if the player is saying it, like Tatum is not one. I feel like he's earned the trust of Celtics Nation. He's earned the trust of people to not like. He doesn't cause drama. So if he's saying that, then
he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't say anything, period. He doesn't give you sound bites.
The fact that he said that, that probably says all you need to know about the relationship that he and Jaylen had. I do wonder, too, like, how much of it was Jaylen Brown questioning Missoula a lot? And if he was questioning Missoula frequently, like, that would make sense for why they were so desperate to get away from him in that deal.
A little bit of undermining.
If he was consistently undermining Missoula in the locker room, because he felt like he was smarter than the coach, that would have been a major problem that needed rectifying, and then we see the result.
So a couple of poll questions to hit on here. We also need a Sox prop before we break to buzzer beaters. We will give you the cue to call as well.
My phone's dead. So
we're going to do that during the break. We got 3:48 lined up in front of us before buzzer beaters. That 3:48 will be me spent on the phone line, getting names, towns, and phone numbers, which we will read off in buzzer beaters. But the poll questions... LeBron taking his talents to Philly. What are your feelings towards Jaylen Brown and the Sixers? 42% say they're now the favorites in the East. 35% say still a fan of Jaylen Brown. No hard feelings. After all, he was traded. 22% say they've soured on Jaylen. Didn't want to share the spotlight in Boston. Have fun being the fourth option in Philly. That's one of the polls. The other is just what's your reaction to the Red Sox trading Connolly early for Curtis Mead. 51% says feels like an overpay, but it makes the team better right now. 41% say hate it. Mead was DFA'd 4 months ago, and any deal for early should have returned much more. Only 8% saying they needed a bat. They got a bat, therefore I'm happy.
Okay. You can cast your vote on our Facebook page, 929 The Ticket. Make sure you do that. And again, the cue to call coming up. Now, I don't have a Sox prop because my phone...
Well, we'll have to find one
I feel
here.
naked.
We'll have to find one.
I will say the Gage Jump started out pretty hot for the Athletics.
It's quite a name.
Cooled off a lot.
Yeah.
So I would lean towards a Red Sox hitting stat because he's cooled off, and they're in Sacramento.
Which is, if you saw last night's game, Cedron Rafaela flew out to left field, slammed his bat into the ground because he was so frustrated that he flew out to left field with the bases loaded. And then when he looked up, the ball wound up over the fence.
That's all you need to know about Sacramento. So I would lean towards like a Wilyer Abreu or Wilson Contreras hits, runs, RBIs because one dinger does it all.
How about just Red Sox runs?
Okay, what you got?
Well, 5.5. That seems like a rather large total for this team. Total home runs over 2.5
for the game.
A minor league ballpark for the game.
Give me that. That's fine. I'm good with that.
Our prop.
Yep, I'm good with that. What's the number on that one?
-125.
Perfect. Put it on the board. All right, we'll take a break. Buzzer beaters next here on 92.9 The Ticket. Again, 992-9029. Mark is about to play the cue to call. All right, it is time for buzzer beaters. My buzzer beaters, we have a clock, Mark.
It is massive.
It is a very large clock. I can see it relatively clearly, though there is quite the glare on it, so we might have to adjust it ever so slightly, but it exists. It tells us the temperature. It tells us the day, the date, the month.
All the things we could ever need to.
The only thing I wished it had was the seconds, and that's just,
I got the seconds in front of me. 35. 36.
Yeah, see,
37.
I don't have that.
38.
But we have a clock. So I've complained a lot about that, and we finally have one here in the studio. So I'm excited for that.
DeAndre Hopkins is a member of the Patriots for training camp.
Coaching staff.
Yeah, not on the field as a member of the coaching staff. And there's some thought. Phil Perry was talking about this with Tom Curran that He might have been brought in simply as an A.J. Brown specialist. How do you deal with a big-bodied, semi-diva receiver?
Well, they played together, right, for a while, didn't they?
No, I
Did they
don't
not
think the
cross over at all?
crossover Tennessee was there, but that's
Oh.
how, obviously, he's got the connection with Vrabel.
Sure.
And there's some thought that he's kind of in the building as like an A.J. Brown consultant.
Yeah,
Do this, don't do that.
He's one of the few great receivers over the last decade that never seemed to have any sort of like mental breakdown.
No, I know. He was just consistent doing his thing.
Yeah, so good for him. Happy to have him on board with the New England Patriots. All right, that does it for us today. Mark will be here tomorrow alongside Ernie. Drive On coming back, and I'm sure you'll have more chances to win some tickets as well.
Yes, you will.